Thank you everyone for being here. Welcome to Wild EU Team Reveals. I am Lotus Knight, one of your hosts for tonight, mostly your stream operator, and I am joined by the one and only Rebob. Rebob, how are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. I've just stopped playing Aggro Priest for a short while to come and be here. It's the thing to be doing right now, and if you haven't tried it, you should try drawing patches with Priest.
Awesome. Lasagne is also joining us. How are you, Lasagne?
I'm doing fine. I have okay now.
I think Lasagna's just lost on ladder.
No, I didn't. I won the game that I was playing before this, so we
Awesome.
are doing well.
Awesome. And last but not least, Otters is here. Otters, how are you doing on this beautiful Saturday?
I'm doing great. I'm doing the same as Reebok. Been spamming aggro for a while. Been drawing
Awesome.
patches.
What a time to be alive. Pirate Priest.
Oh yeah. We can talk about our impressions on the wild meta in the end there if people would like. I'm sure there's a lot we can talk about, but we're here today to reveal the THL Wild EU teams. So we're doing for the first time an EU series, and we're starting with
Yay!
Wild. I'm sure it's very exciting. We're revealing here, because we should reveal this is the show that tries to have a lot of wild matches, but also because it's time zone friendly for EU people. So I hope you're all as excited as I am to be here today, or tonight for those in EU.
Or
It's
tomorrow.
it's a very exciting time for me. I can finally play THL in my own time zone after 4 years or so.
Hey, all our matches we played in regular times, Rebob. You can't complain about that.
Oh yeah, but we always play at a really weird time, don't
Yes.
we?
Yeah, I think it's always
Like,
afternoon.
yeah. Normally it's at a very strange time, and if I want to come on streams, then I don't get to go to bed.
True. Um, So, that being said, I think we're ready to begin. Does anyone want to say anything, any hype for the EU series before any extra hype for the EU series before we begin our reveals?
shout out to Corbett and NHL. They definitely did a lot of work to get this going. And it's really cool they put all that effort into it, especially when none of them play on the servers. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, I genuinely thought that NHL was going to be on the team for a good few weeks. It was like, no, I don't have an EU account. So,
Yeah, no Marty playing in the series at least. So I think we're ready to reveal the teams then. We're going to start. The first person to reveal the team, let me just make sure I have it all one ready here. Yep. Otters is the first one. Otters, do you want to reveal the first team?
Oh yeah, so our first team is Safari Wild with Killer Raccoon as he, along with Rat. Am I saying that right? Rat E2718, King's Bounty, and Joe. I don't even know how to say his name.
This was a hard one.
No.
Yeah, I just like
I'd,
you're so used
I'd,
to
I'd,
reading these names on Twitter and or like
I'd,
actually.
I read that one as ramen you joke,
Yeah, okay.
but I could be wrong. I don't have a clue.
Sounds right to me. Yeah, I know E7, E27 against Rumble. Played a bunch. I'm not too sure about any of the other people. I haven't played that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't give too much. But E27 is really good. Do very well on ladder. I don't know. Obviously, a great player. He did a lot of pushing of hand buff. See what comes up.
Yeah. I want to ask Rebob, do you have any opinions on this team?
This team is one that I actually don't really know all too well. I am in a somewhat weird position as someone in EU who's done a lot of their playing in Wild on NA. So I know the NA world scene a lot better than I know my own one. So I'm kind of learning it now.
Mhm.
But yeah, what I do know is just what I've said on Twitter. So I'm looking forward to encountering them properly. This is one team that I just was fairly unfamiliar with.
Lasagna, any insights on this one?
The only one I was not familiar with at all was Warat. Everyone else I know to a degree. I think maybe E. I usually just call him E. I don't read the
Yeah.
numbers. Uh,
Wait, do you
is
think it's like a joke on E numbers?
I don't know. Well, he is very known for playing Reno, Reno decks and some
Ouch.
interesting builds, and but he does reach like a very probably one of the best players in terms of rank when it comes down to playing very unconventional things.
I don't know how he does it.
I mean, if he's known for playing Reno decks, then it's going to be interesting meta for them. Assuming it doesn't change dramatically. I haven't seen a single Reno deck since the expansions come out, but maybe they'll make it work.
Mhm.
He was also the first friend I ever had on account,
Aw.
and he was rank 1 at the time, and I had no idea who he was. It's like this random rank 1 just adds me.
That's wonderful.
I have two of the bottom seeds. Wow.
Any last thoughts on this team, or can we move to the second team?
I think we're ready to move on to the second team.
Awesome.
I
Rebub,
think
do you
I'm
want
going
to
to
go
be
for
good.
it?
Yeah. So our second team in the EU World Series is Bad Tech Cards. This team is captained by Fei Iron, and we've also got playing alongside Fei Iron. We got Dank, we got BMK, N Jin, and Destruct. And these are also people like Odders with the first team that I know much more from shit posting on Twitter than from actually playing against them. They from their Twitter accounts, they seem like they're quite memey.
This is quite
Obviously,
a
very
bug.
good players. They're obviously quite good players, but you know, they seem like they can be a bit trolly, so they should be some good fun to have around.
I'll start with you, Lasagna. Any thoughts on this team?
I don't know.
Otters, anything you want to add here?
This team's kind of cursed, to be honest. This is great. I'm so excited. They'll bring some. This will be a very interesting, especially they're all a bunch of
colorful characters.
Yeah.
That's probably a more diplomatic way of saying what I said. They will liven up the series, we're sure.
Discord will get a lot more interesting.
Sure.
The EU World channel is going to be NSFW.
Anything else y'all want to say about bad tech cards before we move on to our next team?
Well, I got a bunch of them.
Nah, I'm sure Otters wants to move on and talk about his love child.
No,
Yeah.
we can skip.
Go for it, Otters.
So my team, our team is called USA Number One. So
How'd you come up with that name?
Just because I was attempting to make entire full of NA players, and I got 4 out of 5, and I just couldn't find it. I had it.
So close.
so close. But all the NA players, so myself, Burnt, Duin, and all play on THL. All have done well. The Rod Zombie, obviously reigning champion.
Mm-hmm.
We got someone on, and then our last player is Shadow Frog. He's kind of an unknown. I'm kind of taking a risk. I don't know. I've really never seen him do. He's gotten good ranks and stuff, but most of the time he just plays in the.
So if you're watching Shadow, you've just been called out by your own captain.
He knows it.
So you
He'll say it
better
himself.
do well.
But no, he's a great player, and I'm not too. I think
Yeah. Obviously, this is the team that I know the best. Weirdly enough, obviously the Rotted Zombie he's been my player in some of the standard closed deck series, so I know he's a wonderful teammate to have. But I know Wild is where he really excels. It's also his birthday today, so happy birthday!
Happy
Rotted.
birthday, Rotted.
oh, it is his birthday. Yeah, make sure you go
Uh,
like his.
Doing is like he's doing. He just plays weird stuff and
Well,
hunter decks. But I know
he might
he's
have some trouble. Reno Jackson.
yeah, he plays a lot of really slow jank, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And
Sorry.
Thankfully, Bach with the Moon Eaters come to the rescue.
boing. And
If only Odd Hunter could be all for your deck.
definitely. But yeah, I think this team is pretty solid, and it's probably the team I would rate the highest, but it's also the team I know the best, so that would probably be why.
Mm-hmm. Lasagna, any last thoughts you want to say on this team?
Shadow probably is a very interesting player in that I don't think I have seen anyone go from he went from rank 1 legend to 1000 in a day and then back to rank 1 legend the next
It was
day.
incredible.
It's like
It really was.
it's insane.
Do you think he slept?
No, Shadow played a lot of Hearthstone. And he had the battle pass completed by so early. It was insane. But hasn't played that much recently as far as I'm aware, but I'm not sure. I
It
might
takes
be wrong.
long.
Yeah. He quits the game whenever and then comes back 2 seconds later.
Sounds like he's got a very healthy relationship with Hearthstone.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Any last thoughts you all want to say? Anything on this team? And Chad, if you want to interact and say comments as well, we're happy to debate any comments you all have. But anything anyone wants to say?
Also, Shadow created Staff Glare, which makes him an unholy creature.
Did he really?
I mean, Paradox did it first, I think, but he popularized modern Staff Glare.
All right, I want him off my team now. I didn't know.
He
He's
was the first
fired.
person to hit rank 1 with the Duke's heavy Zap list.
Hmm.
And is basically responsible for all of this.
He ruined the game.
Huh. Now I want to ask you, Lasagne, are you ready to introduce us to the next team?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Go for
Oh,
it.
wait. So we have a little agony. I've heard that it goes a long way. Captained by Corbett Games of Mr. Games Corbett Games. We have Tauntus Cheat at the seed at the first seed. We have Mad Thanos Thanos, yes, at the second seed. We have Urna at the third seed, Slot at the fourth seed, and Ironweb Bruce at the fifth seed.
What is your thought on this team?
Oh, this team is a bit. I'm not sure if I mix this. So you have Taunt, who is an interesting. So Taunt has a bunch of really good finishes, but he has a tendency where he literally will drop out of top 200 if he isn't at a good rank to preserve his average donkey leaderboard. So he's like he has the fifth highest average score, but and has like 7 finishes, even though I mean he doesn't play that regularly, right? He's not like always playing, but there's a lot of seasons where he played and he just drops out of
Hmm.
top 200 just to preserve this. Hmm. Then you have Mathonos is so first off, Mathonos like 2 months ago qualified for the next Masters Tour through ladder on the European server, which is quite impressive.
Mhm.
Uh, so he's probably one of the if there's someone who's like doing both formats, he's one of the better, if not the best player, arguably. I mean, Durboss is probably the best player if we're looking objectively, but you can debate how much of a wild player Durboss is today. And there's a bunch of Asian players who are like top 200 in both consistently.
Mhm.
Yurna is a name I have seen him a bit more, and I've seen him like have decent ranks, and I have seen him in chat, but I don't know that much about him besides like uh that he has. I think he has the Mana Biscuit as his profile picture on Twitter. Slaughter
Fun
is like
fact.
top 10 on EU right now, and I don't know much about Iana Bruce. He's one of the few players I don't know about in this series.
Mhm.
Fun Fun fact, I think Slud has 2 decks on EU currently.
Well,
He's
Oh.
literally he's made an account just for this series.
Oh,
And last I saw he was at like silver 10. But that was quite a few days ago.
interesting.
Hmm.
He is predominantly an NA player as well.
yes,
Huh.
as quite a few players are. Well, okay, I think he is the only player outside of America, of USA number one who is from Americas. If I am correct, no, okay, I'm wrong. There's one I think who's not who's from the Americas.
Hmm.
Okay.
I think.
Um.
Okay.
Reba, what do you think of this team?
This is another team where I'm only really familiar with Sludder, another player that I'm quite familiar with, but the rest I only really know from Twitter. So all I really know is that they're all pretty good, and that's as far as my analysis goes, unfortunately.
That's fair. Otters, anything you want to add about this one?
Uh, not really. Kind of covered it. A bunch of good up and comers. They'll probably do great. There's no doubt.
Mhm.
They're definitely all solid.
Mhm. Anything else you all would like to say about a little agony going a long way, or should we move to the next one?
Solid thumbs up.
0 mana, 8/8 smile.
So, Reba, why don't you tell us about the next team?
Yep. Okay. So we have the latest F2L installment, F2L Saladon. Bonus points if you can figure out why it's called that. So captain is Marty B and or NHL J Fan 1. I get his name wrong all the time. But he is a non-playing captain as he doesn't have any cards on EU. So the players are Alb987, Bedrooms, Copa, myself, and Itachi. So in terms of players, Alb987 obviously won the World Open back in 2017. And so he's been around for quite some time. Bedrooms is the teammate of mine who I gotta say I know the least about. He's just a fairly solid player. Seems like a pretty good guy, and look forward to learning some more about him. Copa is a shaman obsessive, I think you could say.
Mhm.
All he does is tweet shaman decks. It's quite something. I've never seen someone who's quite as obsessed with one class, with a couple of other exceptions. I am just getting back into Wild. I used to play it loads a couple years ago. I got back into it like a month ago. As standard, the past couple of months was shocking. But I used to be fairly good back in the day, and I'm just aiming to get back to those heights. Used to quite quite a long time ago. I used to play a lot more Hearthstone than I do now. And of course, Itachi, who just plays in every single series he can possibly find,
Yes.
and does very well in all of them. Obviously, another reigning champion alongside Rotted Zombie in the NA series. So hoping to bring a EU series along with that, and hoping that they can carry me.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a really exciting team. I'll start with Otters this time. Otters, what do you think of this one?
This is a cool team. I didn't even know. I didn't know. So Albox, I don't think he plays as much. I know he just gets day one tier off. So I don't know how good he is in Conquest.
Mhm.
Bedrooms, he's a cool guy. I like Bedrooms. I've only played him on ladder. He's got a very good cast. That's how I remember.
Mhm.
Copa, he's gonna have to figure out how to fill up a con.
Play the other three classes you need for Conquest.
Rebob, I don't really know much about you at all. I just muted it.
Yeah,
I hope you do well.
I'm going to be the guy that no one's heard of in this series, and hopefully it works in my favor, and I don't just get fucking stomped.
Mhm. Lasagna, anything you want to add about this one?
I think there's something that needs to be said about Alb is that he has literally finished top 100 every single season on Europe since January of 2017 when the wild leaderboard started to be posted. He's the only player who has on a single server has finished one. I'm pretty on that I can't talk. Has finished on every single leaderboard, even in top 200, since in the entire span of a server.
That's pretty nuts. Not even like Hijo?
No, I mean Hijo has like finishes, but there's like blank spots, and he didn't start like he didn't start. Remember Hijo said that he like got interested in the wild after the first wild open, if I remember correctly. So he wasn't
Alb,
playing like.
Alb was his inspiration. Alb was the original, the OG.
I mean,
Awesome.
Hijo's consistency by today is like insane, but he wasn't that consistent like early on, so you could have like drops out of top 200,
Mhm.
Hmm.
as most players probably do, including
Yeah,
myself.
that kind of consistency
What's like
every
nine?
single is
Mm.
kind of insane. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Lasagna, do you want to introduce the last team for us, or is there anything else people want to talk about F2L before we go?
I assume no one's responding, so no.
No, go for it.
Well, we have the final team. EU1's a winner, captained by Sunday. It's the EU spin-off of the season 2 champs.
Oh, EU,
uh,
everyone's.
yes. We have QB at the 1 seed. We have myself on the 2nd seed. We have Max Dona on the 3rd seed. Adrian 123 on the 4th seed, and Mr. Wook 98 on the last 5th seed. So this is obviously the best team, as you can.
Obviously.
Not
This team is
biased at all.
very solid. Yes, not at all biased. So we have B, E gamer, almost finished rank 1 on America's server once, but didn't quite make it in the last day of the season. Then we have, we have myself, some guy who knows. We have Macedon. How do I say his name? There's too many Maxes. Yes.
Just
What's the
say
latter
Max.
name?
Maxedon has been he has been rank 1 this season already, so that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
He has quite a good uh we have Adrian. I'm pretty sure the only person outside of the China server who has hit rank 1 legend with DMH.
Oh god.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. And then we have Luke, who was like rank 1 legend on Europe a few days ago, as far as I remember, this season. Yes.
That's quite a formidable team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since Otter seems to have gone do something in his camp, I'll ask Rebob first. Rebob, what is your thought on this team?
I think they're fairly scary as a collection of individuals. Otter's just showing off his dog there. But yeah,
Sorry.
they're players who I've all kind of seen around, and I just know that they're generally hitting the upper echelons of the leaderboard. And my hope is that they're some of the good players who don't translate being really high on the leaderboards to being good at conquest. Because we
Mm-hmm.
all know that there's some of them. Fingers
Well, we know.
crossed.
Well, we had a conquest in West versus China 5, where 4 of the 5 team members played in. QB got top 8 at that event. Me and Mr. Wu went 3-1, but bubbled out of tiebreakers, and Max Donda went 2-2. So pretty decent. I think Max also played in I don't remember. I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
the esports organization that Superfake and Idan K play. Idan Pro K play for. I don't remember the name. They held Wild
ILH.
Open.
The
Yes.
ILH.
Yes, they held Wild Open, and Max Donda played in it. I think he did quite well, but I don't think really remember.
All right. Well, there. So you're gonna put yourself forward as the front runners for this series, even though you're not allowed to pick your own team.
Okay.
Now, Otters, anything you want to say about this team?
I don't know. They're all. Sorry, I'm pretty sure Mr. Luke was multi-box top 20 NA, and so I guess he's a bigger nut than I thought he was. But Lasagna, obviously, he's talking him down. He's a really good player. What, third most wild finishes at this point? Oh,
No, I have second most. I passed Hydro this month.
oh, did you really?
Yes, I have
All right, there
46.
you go.
I have 46.
So
This
the
is-
man plays a lot of wild.
Hmm.
I think he'll do. And this is the server where he's got all. He didn't do well on NA last. Getting a little hard countered every single week doesn't exactly reflect your record too much, but
No.
hopefully you'll have a better season.
Just be less easy to hard counter.
But yeah, it's a great group of players. I'm excited to see them do well.
Awesome. Now, before we finish our show, I want to ask each of you, what is your guess for the winner of this season? And to make this a bit more interesting for all our viewers, you're not allowed to pick your own team. So I'll start with Otters. Otters, what is your best team for this season?
Oh, jeez. I was supposed to be thinking about this the whole time.
You got distracted by your dog.
I don't know. It's pretty close. I think probably Sunday's. It's probably the safest bet. A lot of consistent, like current performers.
Mm-hmm.
They're all very well right now. So, but I don't know too much about most. So I guess that's where I.
Sure. Lasagna, what is your pick for the best team excluding your own?
Well, this is kind of hard comparatively to something like the NA team because I don't think there's like something. There was originally supposed to be a team that some of the that was supposed to originally happen that would have been easily the pick if it actually happened, but it did not. So, hmm, it's actually very tough. Unless I'm gonna go, I'm probably just gonna go on with a little agony, but this is very close. I think almost all of the teams, except Bad Tech Cars, no offense, can take it if we exclude my team.
Sure. Um, Rebob, what is your thought here?
I think my pick would probably be USA number one,
Let's go.
just because I know the most about them. And if Duin can figure out how to play less jank and get hard counted less, that will be their mission for the season. But if they can do that, then I think they're a pretty scary team
Awesome.
who have the upside of having played, I think, all of them in THL already.
Mm-hmm.
They've all done at least.
Yeah, because there will be a handful of very good players who just for some reason suck in THL. It happens every time. So having some who have all played already is going to be, I think, a positive for them, at least in the beta season. Then we'll see once we have the full season next time around. That's my prediction.
Awesome. Anyone else wants to say anything before we finish our show? These are our 6 teams. Any final thoughts?
It's worth noting that there are going to be balance changes on Tuesday.
Yes.
No, they said they were gonna have it.
They're gonna nerf encounters. I mean, no, nothing.
We'll see.
They're gonna make Dark Lair 2.
Yeah. Hex will cost 5 mana finally.
Look, they're just finally going to nerf Force of Nature Savage Roar.
Yes.
Plaguing.
Force of Nature summoned Hugh 3 ends now.
Awesome. Well, that is it. I just want to remind everyone that there's still reveals going on today. Tonight specifically, Saku is going to be bringing you a very exciting reveal of Battlegrounds teams, hero teams, and legacy teams, and we'll be joined by Donde and Corrodin. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So it's going to be a very exciting show. I wish I was available to be there. It's going to be amazing. I'm sure we're going to have some very excited teams. Just as a reminder, Legacy has 24 teams. So this is going to be a packed season, and Hero is always a very insane series. Yeah,
Just as another reminder, Lotus, what time is that?
that is at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I know we have a lot of EU people here, so it's not great for you all, not gonna lie, but do your best. Stay awake very late. And you can watch at 9 p.m. Eastern Legacy, Hero, and Battlegrounds team reveals. If not, you can see today's show as well as all other THL shows that Saku uploads to YouTube a little bit after the show. So, really soon.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
Now, I just want to
I
first thank each of you. Lasagne, thank you for being here today.
Um.
Just say you're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for having me, Smile. Smile.
Otters, thank you for joining me. I hope you had a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is great. I hope we do more of these in the future. You and stuff.
Yeah.
You've been utterly wonderful.
That's a knee slapper right there.
Rebob, thank you for being here. One more time, another great reveal.
Thanks for having me, Lotus. Always a pleasure. It's nice to have one of these, which is, not an obscene time for me. So always happy to be here.
Yeah. That is it for us. We'll see you all later. Have a good night for those of you in EU, or a good afternoon for those of you in NA. and we'll see you later.
Ciao.
Bye bye.